In this presentation, I'll be talking about page 23 to 33 of the PurpleCow. I'll be discussing what works, why modern advertising does not work, awareness, risk, and outdated products. So let's start with what works. What works is that there has to be something different. Something must be able to differentiate you from the competition. Not all companies have the same things in common, but they may do the same thing. But that differentiation in some way makes one company more outstanding than the other. For example, you got to do something extreme. You got to be super fast, do something super slow, really big, really small, but it's got to be something that's pretty remarkable. The first person that has a remarkable idea is the remarkable person. You can't have the same idea as somebody else and be remarkable. There's no such thing as a copied product that's great. It's a great idea because it's already been done before, so it can't be great. Kind of think about Back to the Future with Dr. Emmett Brown. He discovered the 1.21 gigawatts that basically ran the DeLorean. Nobody ever done that before. There was no such thing as time travel until he came up with that. So, pretty remarkable idea. It's pretty fast. Cannot be duplicated too well. So, why don't modern advertising work very well? Well, most of them say the same thing over and over. They're saying the same thing as everybody else. For example, we're great. We're the greatest company that makes the greatest products. Look what we do. That's kind of everybody says the same thing. Nothing really sets anybody apart in that regard. So you got to be kind of different there. Another way is it doesn't work because they advertise for the sake of advertising. The way it used to work was, whoever spent the most money for advertising pretty much reap the benefits of it. But nowadays it doesn't really work that way, so as a company you're pretty much just throwing money away by doing it that way, because people can get their information everywhere nowadays. So there's no point in spending huge amounts of money just for the sake of doing it. Another problem these companies have is their target audience is the people that are within the middle of the market. These people are the same. These people they may not even be looking for the product that you're selling. So instead of spending all that money on trying to reach more people, why not spend the money to try to hit a very specific targeted audience? And my pictures down here below kind of illustrate this point. The clones over here on the left, they basically that's representing the majority of the people. You don't really want to try to market specifically to them, because you'll hit a bunch of people with your message, but most of them really aren't even looking for what you're selling anyway. So instead, you aim for that sweet spot. Kind of is represented by my yellow smiley face over here. He's the one that's looking for your product. He's a little bit different. He's you reach him, and he's probably got some people just like him, that a smaller segment of that entire population, where that's the side you want to be shooting at. It's more efficient. They already want to buy your product, and they're already interested, so they're already primed to buy what you're selling them. So that leads to awareness. The book kind of gave the example of the Mean Joe Green commercial. It's been linked, said as one of the greatest commercials of all time, and it was. And the problem was it was very entertaining and had a good message, but it didn't really sell any more Coca-Cola. It was just something that was entertaining. So basically, what that's saying is, just because somebody's aware of you or your product or something, it doesn't mean you're remarkable. So not everybody that has aware, not a, you're not just because people know about you don't mean you're great. Excuse me. Kind of some examples I thought of to illustrate this point is like Kmart. Everybody knows about Kmart, but really Kmart, you can go in there on a busy weekend and there might be about 10, 20 people in there. Big K Cola. Pretty much everybody knows about a Big K Cola, but you know, it's a Big K Cola. It's a drink, but it's not great. The Dollar General. Who doesn't know about a Dollar General? I mean, everybody goes to the Dollar General. It doesn't make them remarkable though, because they're competing on price. A specific sport example I came up with is San Diego Padres. Everybody knows about the Padres. They've had maybe one or two solid teams in the last I don't know how many years, but you don't really think greatness when you think San Diego Padres. But they're there, so people are aware of them. Doesn't make them great though. All right, so in order to be great, you got to be able to take. You got to be willing to take the risk. This means, you gotta create things that are worth people talking about. You want people to talk about the things you do because you've been willing to take that risk to do it. People that have an aversion to risk, they're just scared to do anything risky. They don't want to look stupid. They don't want to get embarrassed or criticized. They're just gonna play it safe, and they may have a degree of success, but it's gonna be pretty mediocre at best. And yeah. So basically, they're not going to ever, reach the heights that they could have reached if they would have taken the risk to, see what would have happened. A nice acronym I like for, just for looking at failure is FAIL. It's first attempt in learning. You cannot learn anything unless you attempt it. First time you do something, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be awesome, but you're going to get the experience needed, to keep making improvements until one day, finally, after a certain number of failures, you eventually just, it starts clicking, and next thing you know, you're coming up with something great. Excuse me. Kind of the way I like to think about this also is, you can't hit a home run if you don't go to the plate. I mean, you may strike out 10 times, but that one pitch when you got the bases loaded, you might hit a grand slam. So, that if you don't try, you never know what you're gonna do. So, kind of like this guy skydiving right here, or jumping off this cliff right here. I mean, it kind of embodies everything I was talking about. I mean, people would be talking about it. He's not scared of it. Now, if he didn't succeed the first time, he may die, but if he didn't, he learned and he got better. So he was willing to do it. All right, so what do we do about products that they used to be great at one time in history, but now they're not really great anymore? Kind of like the newspaper and bars of soap. I mean, they have great purposes, but they're just not really remarkable anymore. And basically what's happened is, other companies have imitated this product. It's created high competition, so now they're competing on price. What these companies need to do is just take whatever profits they can make, reinvest it, and then try to come up with something remarkable again. Try to replicate their early day success. So in conclusion, what we need to do is you need to be unique. Do something different. Create whatever you're creating for a unique audience. Don't try to be everybody, everything for everybody. Awareness is not the same as being unique. People may know about you, doesn't make you great. You must take risks, and you got to always be improving. And like the picture says, choose to be remarkable, and let the others be mediocre.